In the last lecture, we have seen the summation, concept of summation, then these four properties. That is how to take summation of addition of two functions, how to take summation of constant multiple of a function, how to take summation of product of two functions, and this one is the, again it's a modified part. That is again it is a product of summation of two functions, right? Okay. Mute yourself, please. Okay. Right. Okay. We have seen the proof of this. Now we will see the example related to this. Compute summation of t into a to the power t. Right? T into a to the power t, where a is not equal to 1. Now it is a product of two functions now. First function is t and second function is a to the power t. Now we have to use the product function here. Product means which formula is there? We have formula of this type. Summation of yt into delta zt. Isn't it? This is the formula. So first function is your yt and second should be delta zt of this type. And then its formula is what? Yt into zt minus. What is there minus? Minus. It is like this. Summation of delta yt into EZT. Summation of delta yt into EZT. So what it is? Minus summation of delta yt into EZT. Delta yt into zt. That means this is called summation by parts formula. First function as it is, summation of second function. What is meant by zt? Zt is a summation of delta zt. So first function as it is, summation of delta zt minus in the summation delta of first function into shift of summation of second function. Integration by parts क्या था? First function as it is, integral of second function minus integral of derivative of first function into integral of second function. उसको replace कैसे किया है यहाँ? First function as it is, summation of second function minus in the summation delta of first function into shift of summation of second function. Okay, this is called integration by part. So I will call this t as yt and a to the power t as delta zt. What we consider second function as delta zt. Now, which function to be treated as first and which function to be treated as second? There is no any general formula like integration by parts. In integration by parts, there was LIATE rule, right? That means first function should be considered as logarithmic, then inverse function, then algebraic, then trigonometric, and then lastly exponential function. But there is no such rule in this case. But we can think about which function we should consider first and which function we should consider second. क्या करना होता है हमें यहाँ? फर्स्ट फंक्शन का डेल्टा निकालना है और सेकंड फंक्शन का समेशन निकालना है. तो ऐसा सेकंड फंक्शन सोचो कि जिसका समेशन आपको पता है, कुछ समेशन इज नोन, एंड ऐसा फर्स्ट फंक्शन सोचो कि जिसका डेल्टा वैनिश हो जाएगा या फिर 1 आएगा आगे चल के, इट विल बी इक्वल्स टू 1 और कम हो जाएगा, लाइक दैट. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल हियर आई विल कंसीडर yt is equal to t and second function as delta zt is equal to a to the power t. What will happen in that case? Delta yt becomes 1. If yt is t, delta of yt with respect to t becomes 1. And if delta zt is a to the power t, what becomes zt? Zt becomes summation of a to the power t, which is equal to a to the power t upon a minus 1. Because as denominator is a minus 1, we have already given a is not equal to 1. So this is possible. Moreover, we want to obtain EZT also. EZT also. So if ZT is your a to the power t upon a minus 1, then what will be EZT? EZT becomes a upon a to the power t plus 1 upon a minus 1. That means a upon a minus 1 into a to the power t. And now we will use summation by parts. What will happen? Summation of t into a to the power t equal to t into first function as it is, yt into summation of second function. Is it zt? Zt is what? A to the power t upon a minus 1, summation of second function, minus summation of delta of first function into shift of summation of second function, means shift of this term there. So this is a to the power t upon a minus 1, its shift becomes a to the power t plus 1 upon a minus 1, that is a upon a minus 1 into a to the power t. You got this? First function as it is, summation of second function minus in summation delta of first function into shift of summation of second function. It is like that. So this is equal to t into a to the power t upon a minus 1 minus a upon a minus 1 is constant term that can be taken outside, summation of a to the power t only, which is equal to t into a to the power t upon a minus 1 minus a upon a minus 1. Again, what will be the summation of a to the power t? We know that it is a to the power t upon a minus 1, which is this one, a to the power t upon a minus 1. Now in both of these two, a to the power t upon a minus 1 is common. So I will take a to the power t upon a minus 1 as common. We get t minus a upon a minus 1 plus c of t. We always write c of t. What is c of t? Where c of t is the such function whose delta is equal to 0. That is where c of t is such that delta of ct equal to 0. Delta of ct equal to 0. Here, where c of t is such delta of c of t equal to 0. So this is the answer of summation of t into a to the power t. We will use product formula there. Now second example we can say that summation of tc5 into tc2. दोनों भी TCR इस टाइप के है. So which can be taken first and which can be taken second? We know that delta of TCR is equal to, क्या फॉर्मूला है TCR का? TCR minus 1. क्या हो जाता है? ये जो बेस टर्म है it is decreased by 1. एक से decrease हो जाएगा, right, in the delta. So we will consider such a delta. Again we know that TC1 equal to what? Only t, and TC0 equal to 1. So we choose such a first function whose delta is going to be 1 after some words sometimes. So what I will do here, take first function as TC2 because it's a delta. First delta becomes TC1 and its delta becomes TC0 and TC0 is 1. Why TC0 is 1? Combination of t terms taken 0 at a time. ऐसा कितनी बार कर सकते हैं हम? Only one times you can do it. So NC0 is always equal to 1. NC1 is always equal to n. NC2 is n into n minus 1 upon 2 factorial and so on. So I will consider this function as first, TC2, and this function as second. So let yt equal to TC2 and delta zt equal to TC5. Yt equal to TC2 and delta z equal to TC5. Therefore, delta yt becomes TC1 and zt becomes summation of TC5. What is summation of TC5? We have the formula for summation of TCR. What is it? It is TCR plus 1. एक से बढ़ता है. TCR plus 1. That is the formula for summation, and this is the formula for delta there. Right? So ZT becomes TC6. Increase by 1, this term is in, and therefore EZT becomes t plus 1 C6, replace t by t plus 1, so t plus 1 6. Now use summation by parts. So first function as it is yt into summation of second function, first function as it is into summation of second function. Second function का summation means zt. Z is what? TC6 minus इन समेशन फर्स्ट फंक्शन का डेल्टा tc2 का डेल्टा tc1 into shift of this function, that is t plus 1 c6 EZT is what? T plus 1 c6. Okay, now this we get tc2 tc6 minus summation of tc1 t plus 1 c6. Again you are getting product of two functions here. First is tc1, second is t plus 1 c6. Again I will consider this as first function and this as second function. So now applying yt is equal to tc1 and zt is equal to delta zt is equal to t plus 1 c6 and applying again summation by parts, what you will obtain? Therefore delta yt becomes tc0, zt becomes t plus 1 c7 now, because it will be file finding summation, this term will be increased by what? T plus 1 c7 and EZT becomes t plus 2 c7 there. So applying summation by parts to this again, what we obtain? This will remain as it is. tc2 tc6 remains as it is minus in bracket now. I will take curly bracket. First function as it is tc1, then summation of second function t plus 1 c6 का summation आ जाएगा t plus 1 c7 minus in summation delta of first function tc1 का delta tc0 आ जाएगा and tc0 is 1. So 1 into shift of this term t plus 2 c7 EZT t plus 2 c7. So this becomes tc2 into tc6 minus tc1 into t plus 1 c7 and now minus minus plus. Now summation of t plus 2 c7. Using the formula for summation, this will be increased by 1 again, isn't it? This will be increased by 1. So summation of t plus 2 c7 becomes t plus 2 c8. This will be increased by 1. While finding delta, it will be decreased by 1. For finding summation, increased by 1. Plus c of t, where delta of c of t equal to 0. We have to take this as a periodic function after finding summation as before. We know this. So in this way you can find the summation of product of two functions. दो function का अगर product है तो we can take summation, and the process is called summation by parts. We call it as summation by parts there. Okay. Now there is a relation between. Now, as like in definite integration, we know that we have the formula for definite integration. We know that if integral of f of x with respect to x equal to some g of x, then integral from a to b f of x dx becomes what? G of x from a to b. Right? This is equal to g at b minus g at a. We know this is from integral calculus. This is from integral calculus. अगर आपको indefinite integral पता है f of x का g of x है, तो how to find definite integral? Only ये integral में put x is equal to upper limit b minus put x is equal to lower. जो भी indefinite integral है उसको upper limit रखो minus lower limit. In the same way, the relation between indefinite sum and definite sum is there. Now, if Zn is indefinite sum of yn, then summation from k is equal to m to n minus 1. Here it is definite summation of yk is equal to zk from m to n. That is z at n minus z at m. So here हम डायरेक्टली क्या रहे इन डेफिनेट इंटीग्रल में, डायरेक्टली इंटीग्रल में अपर लिमिट पुट करो माइनस लोअर लिमिट पुट करो. यहाँ जो भी इसका समेशन आ जाएगा, सपोज zn is summation of yn, then how to find definite sum of yn from m is equal to k is equal to m to n minus 1. उस समेशन में अपर लिमिट पुट कर दो, लेकिन अपर लिमिट पुट करने से पहले यू सी दिस, अगर अपर लिमिट n माइनस 1 है तो यहाँ अपर लिमिट की वैल्यू n रखने, यू हैव टू इंक्रीज इट बाय 1 और लोअर लिमिट एज इट इज आता है. दैट इज द ओनली चेंज इन दिस हियर. ओके, यहाँ एज इट इज अपर लिमिट रखना है और लोअर लिमिट रखना है, और यहाँ अपर लिमिट को 1 से बढ़ाना है. दैट इज द ओनली चेंज. So if Zn is the indefinite sum of yn, that means what? You are given summation of yn equal to Zn or summation of yk equal to zk. दोनों में से कौन सा? So अगर summation of yk equal to zk already दिया है, then summation of yk from m to n minus 1 equal to, this is a zk from m to n, zk from m to n, and then we can write zn minus zn. This is the formula. So it is again, this result is parallel with integral calculus. Okay, now I will prove this. So given that summation of yn equal to zn, therefore summation of yn is equal to k from m to n minus 1 yk plus c. This already we have seen. This is a relation between, I think, definite integral and indefinite integral. Relation between definite integral and indefinite integral. So summation of yn is equal to k from m to n minus 1 of yk plus integrating constant c. What will be this? Therefore, now from this, summation from k is equal to m to n minus 1 yk, this term, plus c equal to zn. Why we have written zn? Because summation of yn is equal to, we have given zn. Summation of yn is equal to, we have given zn there. Okay, it is like that. Now, actually, what is this one? What is the definite sum from k is equal to m to n minus 1 yk? How to write it? It is like ym plus yn plus 1, ym plus 2, ym plus 3, and up to so on. It is like that. So last term you get a yn minus 1 plus plus something constant c. So this is the relation between definite sum and indefinite sum. So k from m to n minus 1 yk plus c is equal to zn. This implies k from m to n minus 1 yk equal to zn minus c. I will take this c to this side. Now take one condition, put n is equal to m. What will happen? For n equal to m, we have k from m to m minus 1 yk plus equal to zn minus c or plus c equal to zn. Isn't it? Now we know that there is a summation convention. If upper sum, we have written some values here. If upper limit is less than lower limit, then definite sum of yk is always equal to 0. If upper sum is less than lower sum, then summation of this yk, whatever yk is there, is always equal to 0. Now, for example, summation yk from a to b is 0 if b is less than a. This is the fundamental principle of summation. अगर आपका अपर लिमिट जो है वो लेस है, कम है, तो ये समेशन कुछ भी हो, वो क्या आ जाएगा? आपका 0 आ जाएगा. That we have seen. So this is 0. 0 plus c equal to zn, because we have to put n is equal to m. N is equal to m. So this becomes zm, not zn, but it becomes zm, n equal to m. So 0 plus c equal to zm, that is c equal to zm. And therefore if I put that, what you will get? K from m to n minus 1 yk equal to zn minus zm. And what is zn minus zm? Zn minus zm is zk from m to n. Zk from m to n there. Okay, in this way you can prove it. So 0 plus c equal to zm, that is c equal to zm, and therefore k from m to n minus 1 yk summation equal to zn minus zm, that can be written as zk from m to n. For this we have considered this one, and the relation is this one. What we consider here, relation is this one. ये एक relation क्या है? ये how to prove it? So I think you have proved it, or I will again explain you. So what will happen if summation of yn equal to zn, then your delta zn becomes what? Delta zn becomes simply yn. If I find delta of summation yn, so what it becomes? So it becomes yn equal to, इसका डेल्टा निकाल सकते हैं, इसका डेल्टा भी y, ये भी इसका भी yn ही आता है. So delta yn, what will becomes yn only. What will be delta of this term? Delta of this term अभी देखो, put, we have to find delta with respect to n. So put n is equal to n plus 1 minus put n equal to n. तो फर्स्ट समीशन आ जाएगा प्लस आपका k from m to n yk, k from m to n yk minus summation k from m to n minus 1 yk प्लस इसका तो डेल्टा जीरो ही आने वाला है, isn't it? इसका तो डेल्टा जीरो आना. So k from m to n minus 1 yn, इसका मतलब ये ऐसे आ जाएगा टर्म ym plus 1 and plus up to plus, इसका लास्ट टर्म आ जाएगा yn माइनस अगेन इससे स्टार्ट करेंगे ym plus 1 और कहां तक आ जाएगा प्लस अप टू प्लस yn minus 1. तो ये पूरे टर्म्स कैंसल्स विद दिस वन एंड ओनली विल गेट yn. So delta yn, delta of summation yn equal to yn will get. So this is the relation between indefinite summation and definite summation. That is summation of yn is equal to k from m to n minus 1 yk plus some summation constant c. Okay. Now we will find other example also. Compute k from summation, definite summation of k square k from 1 to l. K from 1 to l. What is the relation between now indefinite summation and definite summation? We have seen that if summation of yk equal to some zk, then summation from m to n minus 1 of yk equal to zk from m to n. This is the relation. Already we proved this. That means you have to find summation of indefinite summation of k square. We have to find indefinite summation of k square. But there is no formula for obtaining summation of t to the power n. फार्मूला है t to the power falling n, इसके लिए समेशन निकाल सकते हैं. There is no direct formula for t to the power n. इसके लिए फार्मूला समेशन नहीं है. But for this we have the formula. For this we have the formula there. Okay. So that's why first of all we will try to make this k square in the form of falling power. We will try to make this k square in the form of falling power. We have k to the falling 2 is equal to what? K into k minus 1. That is k square minus k. That is k square minus k to the falling 1, because k is same as k to the falling 1, isn't it? So minus k to the falling 1 I will take to left hand side. You will get k to the falling 2 plus k to the falling 1 equal to k square. So now k square can be written as k to the falling 1 plus k to the falling 2. Therefore, summation of k square means summation of k to the falling 1 plus k to the falling 2, that is summation of k to the falling 1 plus summation of k to the falling 2, which is equal to, now the summation of k to the falling 1 is k to the falling 2 upon 2. We have to increase by 1 and divide it by that term, plus summation of k to the falling 2 means this is k to the falling 3 upon 3. And therefore now you got indefinite sum of k square, which is this one. Therefore definite sum k from 1 to l of k square equal to, ये जो term है, this will as it is only from 1 to now l plus 1. Why l plus 1? As upper limit is l, it should be l plus 1. It should be l plus. We have to take the term upper sum increased by 1. And therefore, what about this one? So put k is equal to l plus 1 and then k equal to 1. If I put k equal to l plus 1 first, then you get l plus 1 to the falling 2 upon 2 plus l plus 1 to the falling 3 upon 3 minus, you put k equal to 1 now. So separate, I will take minus 1 to the falling 2 upon 2 minus 1 to the falling 3 upon 3. We know that if the base is smaller than this falling power, then its value becomes 0. So 1 to the falling 2 becomes 0, 1 to the falling 3 also becomes 0. So both of these terms become 0. Only we get l plus 1 to the falling 2 upon 2 plus L plus 1 to the following 3 upon 3, which is equal to L plus 1 into L upon 2, because we know the following power t to the following 2 is t into t minus 1. So L plus 1 to the following 2 is L plus 1 into one term less than 1. L plus 1 into L upon 2 plus L plus 1 to the following 3 means 3 times decreasing product. A as it is rahega 3. L plus 1 into L minus 1 upon 3. Now you can take common L into L plus 1 and you will get 1 by 2 plus L minus 1 by 3. So you will get L into L plus 1 into bracket, cross multiplication we have taken 3 plus 2L minus 2 upon 6, 3 into 2, 6. So you will get L into L plus 1. This is 2L plus 1 upon 6. And so this will be the final answer. L into L plus 1 into 2L plus 1 upon 6. We have one more example. Compute k from 1 to n minus 1, 2 by 3 to the power k. Now, again, we have to find definite. So for that, we must know indefinite summation. We know that indefinite summation of a to the power k equal to a to the power k upon a minus 1. This formula we know that. Summation of a to the power k is equal to a to the power k upon a minus 1. So what is indefinite summation of 2 by 3 to the power k? It is 2 by 3 to the power k upon 2 by 3 minus 1. That becomes, now 2 by 3 minus 1 is what? 2 minus 3 upon 3. That is minus 1 by 3. In denominator minus 1 by 3 है, इसको numerator में ले लिया. That is minus 3 into 2 by 3 to the power k. And then, therefore, definite summation from k is equal to 1 to n minus 1, 2 by 3 to the power k equal to, ये जो है आपका minus 3 2 by 3 to the power k from 1 to n. Why 1 to n? You have to increase this term upper limit by 1. So that's why it becomes 1 to n. Minus 3 as it is. Put k is equal to n. That is 2 by 3 to the power n minus 2 by 3 to the power 1. So minus 3 as it is, 2 by 3 to the power n minus 2 by 3 is only there. So if we take again simplification, what you will obtain? Minus 3 into 2 by 3 to the power n minus minus plus 2 we get. So that can be written as 2 minus 3 times 2 by 3 to the power n, right? Minus 2 by 3 to the power n. So you can also write this as 2 minus 2 to the power n into 3 to the power n minus 1 and so on. For n is equal to 2, 3 and etc. Because for n is equal to 1, upper limit becomes 0. So total summation becomes 0. That's why we have to take n equal to 2. Okay. We have this also. Show that summation from k is equal to m to n minus 1, k plus b ca equal to n plus b a plus 1 minus m plus b a plus 1. Again, very simple. You have to, we know the formula indefinite summation of k plus b ca, that is k plus b. We have to increase this term by a only, a plus 1. And therefore, after finding definite summation, in this indefinite summation, we have to take upper limit as greater than 1, lower limit as it is. Upper limit greater than 1 means upper limit n, lower limit m. So k plus b a plus 1 from m to n, which is equal to, now if I put k is equal to n, you get n plus b c a plus 1 minus m plus b c a plus 1. This is very simple. So just it is application of the formula definite and indefinite integral. We have this one example also. Show that 1 by 2 plus summation from k is equal to 1 to n minus 1 cos a k is equal to sin k minus 1 by 2 or sin a k minus 1 by 2 upon 2 sin a by 2. Again, we have to use the relation between definite and indefinite summation. Definite and indefinite. We know that summation of cos a k equal to, ये फार्मूला है आपके पास, summation of cos a k equal to sin a k minus 1 by 2 upon 2 sin a by 2. Already we have seen this formula previously. Sin a का भी फार्मूला निकाला है हमने, cos a का भी फार्मूला निकाला. So summation of cos a k is equal to sin a k minus 1 by 2 upon 2 sin a by 2. And therefore, summation from k is equal to 1 to n minus 1 cos a k is equal to 1 upon 2 sin a by 2. As it is constant term, it will remain as is. और इसमें क्या कर दो आप खाली sin a k minus 1 by 2 from 1 to n कर दो, अपर लिमिट n करना पड़ेगा, लोअर लिमिट एज इट इज रहेगा. नाउ पुट ये 1 by 2 sin a by 2 एज इट इज हो गया, न्यूमरेटर में sin a n minus 1 by 2 माइनस sin a 1 minus 1 by 2. 1 minus 1 by 2 क्या आता है, ओनली 1 by 2 आता है. So sin a n minus 1 by 2 upon 2 sin a by 2 minus sin a 1 by 2 upon 2 sin a by 2. What is sin a 1 by 2 upon 2 sin a 1 by 2? ये दोनों कैंसिल हो जाएंगे, यहाँ सिर्फ रहेगा 1 by 2. So minus 1 by 2 taken to left hand side, we get 1 by 2 plus this term equal to this right hand side. So 1 by 2 plus summation from k is equal to 1 to n minus 1 cos a k is equal to sin a n minus 1 by 2 upon 2 sin a by 2. In the same way, by direct, we can find summation from k is equal to 1 to 8, 1 upon k plus 1, k plus 2, k plus 3. Right? So first of all, we will try to find indefinite summation of this one, and then putting upper limit as 8, 9 and lower limit as 1, we will get the result here. We have summation of 1 upon k plus 1, k plus 2, k plus 3 equal to summation of, what is 1 upon t plus 1, t plus 2, t plus 3? It is t to the falling minus 3. Directly it is the formula for t to the falling minus 3. So what it is? It is summation of k to the falling minus 3, which is equal to, we know that, what is the formula for summation of k to the falling t or k to the falling n? It is, we have to increase by 1. So minus 3 plus 1, that is minus 2 upon as it is minus 2. So this indefinite summation of this term is k to the falling minus 2 upon minus 2. And therefore definite summation of same term is equal to whatever indefinite summation is there, k to the falling minus 2 upon minus 2 from 1 to 9. Why 9 we have taken? Because here upper limit is 8 given, lower limit is 1. So lower limit we don't change, upper limit we increase by 1. So 9. So minus 1 by 2 as it is into k equal to 9 put kar do, 9 to the falling minus 2 minus 1 to the falling minus 2, minus 1 to the falling minus 2. But this is again indefinite term because it is 1 upon 1, right? And we have to increase it by up to minus 2, 1 minus 1, 1 minus 2 तक ले जाना है. 1 minus 1 0 आ जाएगा, denominator 0, this will be indefinite term. So that will be immaterial as definition. So minus 1 by 2, 9 to the falling minus 2 का क्या आता है? 1 upon 1 से increase कर दो, 10 into 11. 1 upon, you have to add here, there, isn't it? 1 upon 10 into 11. And so that this becomes minus 1 upon 220. 10 into 11 into 2. That is a simple product is 220. This is indefinite. 1 to the falling minus 2 is always what it is. It is always equal to indefinite sum. That is infinite sum. Therefore, we cannot consider while क्योंकि समेशन में हमें फॉलिंग फैक्टोरियल ही पता है. फॉलिंग फैक्टोरियल ऐसे ही केस में डिफाइन है जहां हमको उसका आंसर आता है डेफिनेट, अदरवाइज we cannot define it. Okay, so in this way there is a relation between definite and indefinite summation, and we can find solutions of some examples there, isn't it? So if Zn is indefinite sum of Yn, then this is the relation between indefinite sum and definite sum there, and then we can find some solutions of some examples. We can obtain solutions of some examples there. Okay, next part we will see in next lecture.